What's going on, guys? My name's Kellen Reck, and today I'm going to tell you why the Canon 28mm 1.8 is a great lens to keep in your camera bag. So this lens is old. We're talking 1995 old, but in my opinion, it's highly underrated and can still provide you a ton of value. So here's the deal with this lens. It's built for a full frame camera. So on your 5D, it's going to look 28mm. That's a relatively wide shot. On your cropped frame camera, you're gonna actually have it shooting at about a 45mm lens, which is a really nice focal length. That's a 1.6 times crop on the sensor, so 28mm becomes 45. I'll show you a comparison here of the 28 versus 45. Still, this lens works really nicely on cropped frame cameras because you're starting to get close to a 50mm, which is great for portraits and various other shots. So I want to take a really quick look at some of the pros that this lens has to offer. We've got a solid build, a good sized focus ring, ultrasonic motor autofocus, very good and very quick autofocus at that. It's got a 7-bladed aperture for fantastic sun stars in your photos and your videos. It opens to a 1.8 for low light use, very good lens in low light. And it can focus very close. It'll focus actually about under a foot, just under a foot you'll be able to pull focus with this lens, which is really nice. The lens even has a rectangular flare blocker inside of it, which will help prevent some flares when you're outside taking photos. Now, there are a few cons with this lens. Yes, it is old, it does come with some cons. It's got somewhat soft focus at f1.8, but if you dial that up to 2.8, you're gonna start to see that sharpness come into play. Sometimes it's not quite wide enough. Again, it's 28mm, so on your full frame, if you want to get some really wide landscapes, it may not quite do the job. It's not a huge issue that it's only 28 because it can work in various ways. And again, on your crop sensor at a 45mm shot, it's going to look very nice. This is a nice focal length. And one of the other big cons of this lens is that there's no image stabilization, which can be a big factor in photography, but also in video. So that is a little bit unfortunate, but for the price, it's not bad. So let me actually get into price quickly on this lens. The Canon 28mm 1.8 lens goes for about $500 new. Now you can get it at $300 to $400 used or refurbished, which really isn't a bad price. It's actually Canon's fastest wide lens aside from the 24L lens, which opens up to a 1.4 f-stop, but that goes for just over $1,500. So over 3 to 5 times the price for a lens that's, better, but significantly more expensive. You've also got the Canon 35L 1.4 at $1,600 to $1,700. So this right in the middle, the 28 1.8 is a really nice price to have a very nice focal length and a fast lens. Okay, so I'm starting to bog you down with technical details on this lens. I really want to just quickly look at it from the perspective of a filmmaker and give you the real life view of what you can use this lens for. So definitely take a look here. You're going to see a B-roll sequence using only the Canon 28mm 1.8 lens. You're going to see some nice depth of field, some nice flares in your video from the sun, and sort of a whole bunch of different techniques and varieties of shots using only this lens. And I just want to do that so you can get a sense of how this lens might work for you. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the review of this lens. Now, I know it's a really old lens now. It's 23 years old, but I still find that it has a ton of versatility and a ton of value that it brings to me. And it's, not too expensive. So if you're interested in this lens, there's gonna be a link down below. Check that out. And let me know what you think about this lens. If you like it, if you've used it before, if you're interested in it, I'd be happy to answer any questions down in the comments. Otherwise, if you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll check you back in the next one. Thanks, guys.